Our first challenge is we've got to install a couple of pieces of software. The first one being the Visual C++ 2008, whatever the latest version is you can get hold of. And the last one is OpenSSL. You'll notice I'm installing the 32-bit version. I don't want to make any donations. Okay, so that's our prerequisites done. What it does is it installs into your program files x86 into OpenSSL-Win32, and all the files that we want are in the bin directory. Now you can see I've used this before because there's a big backup of the config file. So the first thing you would normally want to do, if I just delete that, is make a backup of the config file. Backup.cfg, smashing. Okay, so if you actually open the config file in Notepad, you'll find there's a lot of information in there. We don't need any of that stuff. You can just simply Control-A to select everything and delete. And we will paste in the information we want. Now, if you don't know how to format that, that's fine. I'll put the link to the website below, and then you can copy and paste. But we essentially want to change that line, and we want to change the settings in this bottom section here. Save that. Now, because I'm lazy, I've just copied that address as text because I need to drop the command line. Just close in PowerShell windows, and I'm going to change to that directory. Now, because there's some spaces in it, I'm going to need to put some quotes around it. Smashing. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is generate a certificate service request using that command. Again, if you want the commands, I'll put the link to the website below. You can just zip across there and copy and paste them. And the second one outputs the key, the secure key that's used. It's going to be used to generate the certificate. Now, Windows by default won't show you file extensions, so I'm just turning them on so you can see what I'm talking about. So you'll see there is a CSR and a key file. There's our certificate. There's our certificate request. If I open that with Notepad, it'll look like gobbledygook, but what that is a PEM file, which is the format that is used to submit a certificate request. So we're going to issue the certificate with our own certificate services. So let's browse to my. You've got to have web enrollment role installed on your certificate services server for this to work. Because I'm not on the certificate server, I'm going to have to log in or authenticate. And I want to submit a certificate request, an advanced certificate request, and then I'm going to paste in the text from my certificate service request file into there. And you see it's got a carriage return at the end there, so make sure that the cursor is flashing on the end of that dotted line. You don't want anything else in there. And I'm choosing a web server as my certificate template, and I want it base64 encoded. Download it, and it will put it in my downloads directory. So if we open that up, and I'm just going to rename that to our UI. And then for simplicity's sake, I'm going to put that in my bin directory, in my OpenSSL, so that everything is neatly in the same place, and it's going to be easy for me to upload them to my ESX server. You see I've used this before, so it's overwriting the one that was in there originally. Okay. Now, one thing that we're going to need to do now is VMware requires your certificate to be in X509 format, so we're just going to convert it. So it's going to pull in a CR and it's going to spit out a CRT. And you can see them both there. You can see there's a slightly newer timestamp on the CRT. Sure, we need to be able to access our ESX box, so I'm going to enable SSH so I can SSH into it. If you just select with host selected, go to Action Services and enable SSH. And then I'm going to SSH into my ESX box. Log in as root, pop in a password. Put in the correct password. There we go. And I'm going to change to the directory that my SSL certificates are in, which is etc/VMware/SSL. And I'm going to make a backup copy of the certificate and a backup copy of the key that's already in there. If I do an ls now, you'll see that they've just been renamed. I'm going to leave that SSH window up because I'll need it again in a minute. Now I'm using Windows SCP, which, as usual, wants to update to connect to my ESX server. Now remember, I was in etc VMware SSL, so let's change to that directory. And we should see the backup copies. There they are at the top there that we made at command line. And then on here, I want to navigate to my program files x86 OpenSSL directory and into the bin folder where all our output files and bits and bobs are. There we go. Now I need to upload the CRT certificate and the key. So if we do the certificate first, upload. If you just want to check your transfer settings if you're using Windows SCP, and just make sure you're in binary transfer mode. You only need to check that once. So that's the certificate uploaded. Now all we need to do is upload the private key. Exactly the same. Now that uploads the certificate and the key, but obviously ESX is not using it at the minute. The way to make ESX use it is to restart the management agents on the ESX box. Again, I'll put the link below so you can go to the website and copy all the commands. Now, I've sped this up for the sake of the video. Okay, if I just do a quick refresh on that, because we've already got the page open, and have a look at the certificate that it's presenting me, I should see that it's been signed by my own internal certificate authority, which it has. And it's got the correct common name on it, signed by my CA, the dates look there or thereabouts. That's us done. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to click and subscribe and ring the bell. And please don't forget to come and visit us at www.petenetlife.com.